Flight 19, the Lost Squadron, a real Bermuda Triangle mystery. Imagine a routine training mission that vanished without a trace. 5 Navy bombers, 14 young men, swallowed by the sea. This is the true story of Flight 19, a Bermuda Triangle mystery that continues to baffle us to this day. December 5th, 1945. The world was still breathing a collective sigh of relief. World War II had just ended, leaving behind a landscape forever changed. But for the US Navy, training missions continued, a vital part of maintaining their strength and readiness. From the Naval Air Station in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the skies above the Atlantic were a familiar training ground. On this particular day, Flight 19 was scheduled for what seemed like a simple practice run, a routine exercise over the vast expanse of the ocean. Little did anyone know this seemingly ordinary flight would soon become anything but. 5 Grumman TBM Avenger bombers stood ready on the tarmac. Each aircraft was a powerful machine, fully fueled and meticulously inspected, prepared for the skies. On board these 5 planes were 14 young men, eager to hone their skills, to serve their country. Leading this squadron was Lieutenant Charles C. Taylor, an experienced pilot with a solid track record. This was a team ready for a standard training mission. Chapter 2, Into the Air. The flight plan itself was straightforward, almost mundane. Head east from Fort Lauderdale, conduct a series of bombing runs over a designated area, and then return to base. Takeoff was scheduled for 2:10 p.m. The weather conditions that day were reported as ideal. Clear skies, good visibility, a perfect day for flying. As the 5 Avenger bombers roared into the sky, no one could have predicted the strange and terrifying events that were about to unfold. The squadron flew eastward, the initial part of their mission proceeding without incident. Then at approximately 3:40 p.m. the calm was shattered. A radio message crackled through the air, a voice filled with urgency and disorientation. It was Lieutenant Charles Taylor. His words sent a chill through the air traffic controllers. "This is an emergency. We can't see land. Everything looks strange." His compasses, the very instruments designed to guide them, had stopped working. The entire squadron had inexplicably lost all sense of direction. The familiar landmarks of the coastline had vanished, replaced by an unsettling and unfamiliar landscape of ocean. In his confusion, Taylor believed they were over the Florida Keys, a chain of islands southwest of their location. But the cold, hard data from radar screens miles away painted a far more ominous picture. They weren't heading towards the Keys. They were heading deeper, further out into the vast and unforgiving Atlantic. A deadly mistake, born out of confusion and failing instruments, was setting them on a perilous course. Chaos and confusion. As the situation deteriorated, a sense of chaos began to grip the squadron. Some of the pilots, relying on their instincts or perhaps fleeting glimpses of familiar patterns, wanted to fly west, back towards the safety of land they believed was within reach. But Lieutenant Taylor, the experienced leader, was adamant. His voice, though strained, held firm. "We must not head west." His conviction, based on his faulty instruments and his misinterpretation of their location, would prove to be a fatal decision. Instead, he directed the squadron to fly northeast, a course that would take them further away from land and directly into increasingly hostile weather. The clear skies they had taken off under were rapidly changing. Rain began to pour down, reducing visibility to near zero. The winds picked up, buffeting the aircraft and making control increasingly difficult. And critically, their fuel, finite and essential, was beginning to run low. Time was slipping away. The last coherent message from Flight 19 was received at 6:20 p.m. Taylor's voice, now filled with desperation, crackled over the radio waves one last time. "We'll have to ditch unless land is sighted." Then, silence. The airwaves went dead, leaving behind an unnerving void where the voices of 14 young men had been just moments before. The moment the last message from Flight 19 faded into silence, the US Navy sprang into action. A PBM Mariner rescue plane, a large flying boat designed for long-range search and rescue missions, was dispatched into the darkening skies. On board were 13 brave men, determined to locate their lost comrades. But just 20 minutes after taking off, a horrifying tragedy struck. The PBM Mariner, their beacon of hope, exploded in the sky. The reasons for this catastrophic failure remain shrouded in mystery, adding another layer of sorrow and bewilderment to the already devastating events. Now, not just 14 but 27 lives were lost, swallowed by the unforgiving Atlantic. Another tragedy, another mystery. Then the search starts. With the loss of Flight 19 and the rescue plane, the US Navy launched what became its largest peacetime search operation in history. An immense armada of 300 ships and 66 aircraft scoured over 250,000 square miles of the Atlantic Ocean. For days and weeks, they meticulously combed the waves, hoping against hope for any sign, any clue. But despite their exhaustive efforts, the vast search yielded nothing. No debris from the Avenger bombers, no telltale oil slicks on the surface of the water. No human bodies, not a single trace of Flight 19 or the 13 men aboard the Mariner rescue plane was ever found. It was as if they had simply vanished off the face of the Earth. Chapter 6. Theories. In the absence of any physical evidence, the disappearance of Flight 19 has spawned countless theories, each attempting to explain the inexplicable. One of the most straightforward explanations points to human error. Lieutenant Taylor, despite his experience, may have become severely disoriented, leading his squadron further and further off course. His insistence on not heading west, against the instincts of some of his pilots, could have been a fatal misjudgment in a moment of intense confusion. Another theory centers on compass malfunction. The Bermuda Triangle has long been associated with unusual electromagnetic anomalies. Could these forces have interfered with the aircraft's compasses, rendering them useless and contributing to the pilot's disorientation? It's a plausible explanation, though it doesn't fully account for the complete lack of wreckage. The unpredictable sudden weather of the Atlantic is another strong contender. Fast-forming storms capable of rapidly changing conditions are common in this area. Could a violent, unexpected squall have descended upon Flight 19, disorienting the pilots further and ultimately leading to the downing of their aircraft? It's a possibility, but would it explain the complete absence of debris? Then there are the more unconventional theories, those that delve into the realm of the unexplained. Some suggest supernatural interference, the very mystique of the Bermuda Triangle fueling tales of time slips, UFO encounters, and mysterious energy portals that could have snatched the planes from our reality. A more scientific yet still dramatic theory involves methane gas eruptions from the ocean floor. Massive bubbles of methane hydrate rising rapidly to the surface could drastically reduce the buoyancy of the water, causing ships to sink instantly, and potentially even destabilize aircraft flying overhead, causing them to crash. But the stark and unsettling truth remains. No single theory fully explains the total and utter disappearance of Flight 19 and the rescue plane. Each explanation leaves unanswered questions. Without any wreckage or survivors, we are left only with speculation and the haunting reality of their absence. Chapter 7. Legacy and Impact. The story of Flight 19 has transcended a simple aviation incident. It has become deeply ingrained in popular culture, a potent symbol of the Bermuda Triangle's terrifying and enigmatic power. The mystery has inspired countless books, numerous documentaries, and even Hollywood films, solidifying its place in the annals of unsolved disappearances. Decades have passed since that fateful December day, yet no clear answers have emerged. We are left only with speculation, with theories that attempt to grasp the ungraspable, and ultimately, with a profound and unsettling silence where the truth should be. What do you believe happened to Flight 19? Were they victims of a tragic confluence of natural forces, a series of unfortunate human errors? Or was there something more at play, something far beyond our current understanding? Thank you for joining us on Fabric of Facts as we explored this enduring mystery. If you enjoy unraveling the threads of history's greatest enigmas and discovering real stories that defy explanation, subscribe to our channel for more captivating content.